This is Caught You Doing Something Good. We host it. The Stoughton Chamber of Commerce hosts it because we believe strongly that people should be recognized in our community that have made an impact, right? So the qualification for becoming a Caught You Doing Something Good recipient is really quite simple. In fact, the most important requirement is that the good deed for which they are being recognized has not been prompted by anyone but extends above and beyond what would be considered normal for everyday chores. The person can be an employee, a volunteer, or just someone you notice doing a good deed for others. So that's what this is all about. This is all about good deeds, people who are doing good work and who are being very good citizens of our town or our community. Okay? So we're going to start today. I'm going to call up, I have a list. So I sort of did it by first name because I was looking at the list and I said to myself, I said to myself, though, that if I had a W name, I'm right in the middle, so I'm a G, so it doesn't matter. I can go either way. You can go from the back or the front, but I thought about Amy, and I wanted to call up Lisa and Amy Lisa, for you to give, right? Yeah, you're going to give the, or Terry, or is Terry doing it? Oh, Terry's doing it, sorry. So Lisa's here because Amy works for Lisa, and yes. Terry, so come on up, Amy.
Come on up, Amy.
So
come up, Lisa, too. Come on.
Sorry.
So just to add to the, just to add to the program. So what we do is we have someone who's in the chamber usually and catches somebody, and then we have the recipient, who in this case is Amy, and then we also invite the person's employer or significant other. So in this case, Lisa would be the employer at Copy Inc. So I wanted to present this to Amy because she has continuously gone above and beyond over at Copy Inc. As most of you know, the Chamber has our newsletter printed at Copy Inc. And as many of you know, I'm usually beyond deadline when I'm getting to write the newsletter. In fact, usually I'm still writing it on Sunday and expect them to have it ready for me on Monday morning. Not really. But in this case, I forget exactly what the circumstances were, but I needed to have the newsletter even sooner. And what Amy did without even actually being asked is she got them printed, but then she brought them home Friday night and actually folded them and did all the additional work on her own time. So when I found out that, I decided she was a perfect recipient for being caught as having done something good. So, Amy, this is going to be for you, and I'm going to need to get my glasses to read it, so hold this.
Okay.
So, just to let you know, we're not going to read all of these other than the person's name because they're all basically the same. So this is going to Amy, how do you pronounce your last name? Wallant? Wallant. Amy Wallant of Copy Inc. The Caught You Doing Something Good certificate is given to an individual who goes above and beyond the care and service of others, whether on the job or in his or her volunteerism in the community. Through presentation of this certificate of recognition, the Stoughton Chamber recognizes the time, effort, and enthusiasm you have demonstrated in serving the public. Your dedication and commitment to excellence bring a sense of pride to the entire community. It is the willingness and generosity of our members and their respective businesses that has enabled the Stoughton Chamber to accomplish the many goals and objectives as written in our mission statement and allows us to continue to function as a respected and charitable organization. So thank you, Amy. Thank you for employing Amy. Thank you, everybody. A picture? Yeah. Take your time.
Thank you.
Okay. I know my back is to you, but let me just get my next one. So, the next person is going to be Nadine. I think you're doing this one, right? Okay. So, Nadine, come on up, and we are recognizing Chris Petrie because... Thank you. All right.
everybody here knows Chris Petrie. How can you get away from him? He's everywhere doing something good. Chris started at Windsor Tire at 17 years old. He joined the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce in 2007, and we haven't been able to shake him since. Okay, he's been on the board of directors, or a member of the board of directors from 2009 to 2013, and in 2010 became chairman for the next 3 years. In 2009, he joined the Doing It for Diane committee, raising funds for the 2 Stoughton food pantries. Chris has been so committed to feed the hungry here in Stoughton, he even talked his band, Insufficient Funds, into donating their service on 3 separate Doing It for Diane occasions. And for those of you who don't know, the Doing It for Diane is the big fundraiser we do every year. So Chris is very involved in that and got his band to play for free. Excuse me. In addition, Chris, along with other volunteers, picks up donated food for many food drives throughout Stoughton. Once a month, they rent a large truck to pick up food for St. Anthony's Food Pantry for their monthly food needs. Currently, Chris is president of the Food Pantry Foundation for Stoughton, Board of Directors for the 2nd year, Vice Chairman of the Farmers Market Board of Directors, and volunteers at the weekly Stoughton Farmers Market. And if that isn't enough, Chris also sits on the Stoughton Master Planning Committee and is on the board of SOLA, which is Support Our Library Association. I'm pleased to present Chris with the award here.
Thank you. That was great.
So next on the list to give the Caught You Doing Something Good is Fred, so we get to hear from him again. And Mark, we are recognizing you. So come on up.
Whatever you want. Mark Hauserman is a Stoughton High School and Suffolk University graduate. He has worked in the global financial service industry, managing information security that protected the banks from fraud, hackers, and embezzlement. He's worked with country regulators in Europe, Australia, Latin America, Canada, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea. And while all of this is impressive, we're here for another reason today. Each year, Mark Hauserman washes the Faxon Park Veterans Monuments, which is located across the street from the library. He ensures that flowers are planted at Faxon Park for both the Memorial Day Parade and the 4th of July Parade, and also commissioned the restoration of the walkways there as well to the monuments at the park. He washes the statue of the fallen soldier at Holy Sepulchre Cemetery and commissioned the removal of years of pollution stains to restore it. Mark maintains the park for Paul McGeckran on Sumner Street and Paul Zerwanka on Page Street. This includes mulching the plants and installing urns with spring, summer, and fall plantings. Both Paul Zerwanka and Paul McGeckran were Stoughton veterans who were killed in Vietnam. Mark ensures that the land in front of the Randolph Savings Bank corporate headquarters and Target at the entrance to Route 24 are mowed throughout the spring and summer. And when Paul Zerwanka's park came back to life, Mark began placing flowers and plantings at the park on the other side of the road on Page Street. Rather than summarize Mark's thoughts about how all this occurred, I thought it more appropriate to read what Mark wrote to me. And this is the quote. My inspiration to care for the town's monuments and parks stemmed from my classmate at Stoughton High School, Paul Zerwanka, who was missing in action in Vietnam for 35 years. I rode by the small park on Page Street twice a day, going and coming from work, and saw it slowly fade into disrepair. Paul's family had cared for the park for some time, but when they moved out of town, the park was forgotten. That bothered me. I had survived Vietnam, and some of my friends and classmates never returned. I slowly turned the Zerwanka Park around by cleaning out the litter, pulling weeds, and replacing missing plants. I started adding seasonal plantings and mulches to improve the soil. The gas station allowed me to access the water, so twice a week I would water the plants. Eventually, the park came back to life. Around that time, Paul's remains were located in Vietnam and returned to the U.S. to be buried with full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery. Eddie Carroll, Paul Flynn, Mike Pizzera, and a few other Stoughton Vietnam veterans and I traveled to Washington, D.C. for Paul's burial. I'm happy to say that after a while, a Stoughton contractor wanted to take over the caring for Paul's park. He does that now. I'm happy I was the inspiration for that. You should also know that the town of Stoughton provides me with the mulch for the park across from Paul's park. And so, today, for all of the years of doing something good for our town and its veterans, it's my honor to present Mark Hauserman.
Can I just add one thing? One of the things that I'm really proud of is if you go to Faxon Park and look at those monuments, which I do twice a year, cleaning them and whatever, is that Stoughton has changed in the 40, almost 50 years since Vietnam, that there's not another name that's been added to that, any of those monuments. So the town has changed in composition, and the people that live here, you know, are benefiting from wars that started before the revolution. But now, not a name has been put on that wall or any of those monuments in almost 50 years. And that's an acknowledgement to us, to everybody here, that we're creating a town and we're living in a world where we don't have to send our boys and young women now even to face, you know, horrors of war all over the place. So it's something we should all be proud of, that we created a place that's safe for our children to grow and to continue on. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mark. Is that the right side?
Yep. Get that. Great, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanne.
Okay, our next person, first of all, I just want to share that I didn't even know about Mark really and what he did for the community, and you know, clearly I'm very involved in the community, so for me to hear these things are really important, and I don't know, I was actually a little choked up for a few minutes. I think that that people can make more of an impact than we ever know, and that's what we want to do here. We want to really make sure that people understand that the little things that they do might end up being something really big to somebody else. So, Chris, can I have you and Mike come up? So, Chris is coming up again. This time, he's the one who's recognizing Mike Samarco.
Now?
Come on over. Because I asked you to come here. It's my pleasure to finally have caught my longtime friend Mike Samarco doing so many things good. I have been fortunate enough to know Michael since I was a young fella, way before my chamber days. I will attempt to list all of the great things that Mike has done over all his years volunteering in Stoughton, but I'm sure I probably won't even get a quarter of them. My relationship with Mike started through Windsor Tire. We're a busy place, used to be a lot busier, we had nowhere to park. We started parking at Applebee's, which is gone. We started parking at FC Phillips, which couldn't happen. We started parking at Cumberland Farms, and they kicked us out. We bought the building next door, and we're not supposed to park there. So Mike was...
You had to tell me that.
Don't tell anyone. Mike, we park at Mike's lot. We've parked there for, I don't even know how long. That's just where we park. All the employees park there. We park extra cars over there. Mike said in the beginning when we, struck up this deal, don't park any unregistered cars over there. He doesn't check. So occasionally there might be, yeah. But so that's how I got to know Michael Samarco. And the relationship grew from that because from us parking over there, the Sons of Italy became our place to go after work. he would invite us over there for all the holiday parties, anything that he had going on. He would say, tell you guys to come over. Tell you guys to come over. So for many, many, many years, almost any night that we were over there a lot. And the Christmas parties, Mike always, to this day, he says, please tell you guys to come over. He's taken very, very good care of us for all those years. So around town, I'm sure most of you know Mike Samarco, whether it be for all his years. I mean, I'm pretty sure he created Babe Ruth baseball. Is that correct, for the United States? That's what someone told me. No? Okay.
It's my way or the highway.
The field was named after Mike, and that's quite an honor. And I believe they also put some sort of gold nameplate on the tractor that you drive when you mow the lawn also.
When I fall asleep on it.
Yes. So Mike actually is the greenskeeper. If you've been to these fields, which I have, they're beautiful. And I hope my grass someday can look like that. You'll have to give me some pointers on that. So he's also served on the planning board for, again, did you create the? No. For many, 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 many years. Mike loves to cook, and he's very good at it. His meatballs are by far, someone said it when we were getting up, did you bring any meatballs? By far the best that I have ever had.
And I'll challenge anyone.
Yeah, definitely. No, his stuff is, he will cook for anyone and everyone that needs food, whether for 1 or for 600, nothing will stop him. He cooks on location too. He's not afraid to take his show on the road. He'll cook in a church basement, a school cafeteria, a VFW, anywhere that someone needs food, Mike will come and cook. He donates to any event that we have. We ask him for 1 small tin. We give him the tin. And when we come to pick it up, he has these huge metal platters, and he has 6 of them. I mean, what do? You just take them. And Mike, it really was an honor to catch you doing something good for all these years, and to finally, through the chamber, be able to. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, picture over here to Joanne. Hold that up.
Geez, I should have had my wife here today.
You'll see it on TV.
She's working. Thank you.
Oh, without question, yes.
I'm sorry. This is an interesting spin on this, the parking situation.
Yeah, tell everyone.
I know what you're doing.
If Mike hadn't let them park behind my shop, I would never have met my husband. So thank you, Mike.
Look what you've done.
Thank you. Anyone else want me to cook for him? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everyone.
Roberta and Peg, you're both up. So today, Peg Carbone is giving out an award, or caught Roberta Harback doing something good. So if we could both come up, that would be great.
Okay, I'm not good on a mic. I don't like them. But Roberta has done so many things for the food pantry that she really and truly deserves recognition. As most of you know, I'm the crazy lady who, as Terry says, drives around Stoughton every Thursday picking up donations for the food pantry. And I run an occasional ad myself in the Penny Saver. That's how we began to bring attention to my cause, which is for the food pantry. And very often, Roberta will, if she needs a filler, she will put in my ad. And I'm so grateful for that, because truly I can't afford to do that many ads for the food pantry. So together we're bringing attention to Stoughton and to the need for the food pantries, for the food pantry. And what else do I want to say?
That's about it.
Yeah. No, it's really and truly, the other thing that really needs to be said here is, as a byproduct of her doing this, I came to realize that my very best weeks are the week of and like 2 weeks after she runs one of my ads. So all of you should know what an effective tool the food pantry, the Stoughton Penny Saver is for all of your advertising needs.
Thank you.
It's true. That's true.
Because my business is advertising your business.
There you go. Okay, well said. So that's it. I didn't write a speech, and I just really felt that Roberta needed to be recognized, and I hope all of you will remember her when you need to put a little message out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Peg.
We should put that in the pen and paper. Okay, so the last one is here. So now, while you've been watching this, I hope you've been thinking about who you want to nominate for next year, because these people are in our lives every day. So this last person I have known for a very long time, and Terry is going to do the honors. So Terry Schneider and Suzanne Blacker, please come on up.
Thank you again. I guess one of the sayings that could be synonymous with the "caught you doing something good" concept is unsung heroes. Because a lot of these people, as Fred had mentioned in regards to Mark, are people that we don't even know. And Ellen had also mentioned she didn't even know about, and I didn't either until Fred told me all the things that Mark was involved with. That these are people who are unsung heroes who do this just purely out of their kindness, having big hearts. And it's great that the Chamber has this opportunity to thank these people. We first have to find them, and then we thank them. So like Ellen just said, please, if you know people, let's start getting ready for next year. Suzanne Blacker would probably have been first if we'd gone normally by last names, right? Blacker probably would have been first, but now you're last. How do you like that? Suzanne and I have become good friends over the years. Suzanne is the director of the Ilsa Marks Food Pantry, one of our 2 food pantries that we have in Stoughton. And she's the person that's there every week, actually working with the clients, making sure the food is delivered. And a lot of people don't even know the people who are running the pantries. Last year, I think, or the year before, we had given an award to Christine Gallagher, who is the director of the St. Anthony's Pantry. And this year, I wanted to honor Suzanne Blacker. The Ilsa Marks Pantry is up on Seaver Street. They used to be actually in the train station several years ago. I helped them to move into the location they are now at, which is part of the Methodist Church. And IKEA, just to give them a quick plug, actually did the build out for us and put all the shelves in for us, which was very nice. But thinking back to when we were at the train station, no heat, no bathrooms, but it was in the center of town. And that's about all you had as a benefit was the center of town. So we've moved them. It's been, what, 6, 7 years now? Probably 7 years. Yeah. And so the experience is a little bit easier on them and the clients, but there are still 3 or 4 people, of which Suzanne is the head chef, who have to operate the pantry. So I want to recognize Suzanne for doing that, for being an unsung hero, for helping the people who can't help themselves. It has really added the food pantries and the needs that DIFD, doing for Diane, grew out of. And you weren't here for the announcement. So Suzanne Blacker, thank you so much for being the person that you are and having the big heart that you have. Would you like to say anything? No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're at the end of the meeting. So hopefully you have enjoyed the food. You've gotten some information about some of our spotlights. You've learned about some of our community members who have been very active in our community and have done things to support us in many ways.